Hello, this is Overthinking with Dennis, where overthinkers like us use music to feel a little less alone. I'm Dennis, and before we go any further, I need to tell you a few things about me. Not to make excuses, but because you deserve to understand who you are watching. You're probably going to notice pretty quickly that I talk slow. I pause a lot. I search for words sometimes like they're hiding from me. That's not an act. It's not a bit. When I was 28, I had a massive stroke. It was my third stroke, but my first and only massive one. And it did real damage, specifically to the parts of my brain that handle speech and memory. Because of that, my brain tends to run about 5 steps ahead of my mouth. So most of what I say is thought out before I say it. I'm not just blurting things out. I can't. Every word takes work. Because of the brain damage and the memory loss, I also pause frequently just to collect my thoughts. And when I'm watching or listening to music, something pops into my head about a song. I have to stop and say it immediately, because there's a very good chance I won't remember it by the end of the song. It's genuinely frustrating. And honestly, you're probably going to notice something else too. There are going to be moments in this video where it sounds like I'm reading, because I am. I had to type all of this out beforehand and read it back to you, because if I didn't, I'd lose it halfway through. And honestly, that's probably the best example I can give you of exactly what I'm talking about. I'll do my best to not sound like I'm reading, but I want to be upfront about the moments where I fail at that. Before the stroke, I had a photographic memory. Now, I only get fragments of memories from my childhood. I'm also terrible with faces and names. Please don't take it personally if I don't remember something you told me. So please, have patience with me. I'm asking honestly. After the stroke, I didn't think I was going to survive. And honestly, part of me didn't want to. So I withdrew. From everything. From everyone. For over 14 years. There were days, long stretches of days, where I didn't speak a single word out loud. Not one. My social skills are, let's say, a work in progress. Communicating better is something I work on every single day. But the isolation did more than just take my voice. During those years, I suffered nerve damage, a decade of it. There was almost a year where I couldn't walk. Not figuratively, literally couldn't walk. And even after that, every step was a fight. My body had turned on me in ways I still don't fully understand. That's what 14 years of shutting the world out looks like on a body. Here's the thing about my brain. It's been diagnosed with a lot of things. Bipolar disorder at age 8, anxiety and social anxiety since I was around 5, ADHD, OCD. I've been prescribed over 100 medications over my lifetime, possibly more. Antidepressants, antipsychotics, you name it. And for almost 20 years, I struggled with opioid addiction. I've been clean since 2012. I'm not sharing this for sympathy. I'm sharing it because some of you watching this have a list that looks a lot like mine. And I want you to know that list doesn't have to be the end of the story. Everything I just described, the memory, the isolation, the body that wouldn't work, the brain that wouldn't cooperate, all of it should have silenced me. And for 14 years, it did. But music didn't let me stay quiet. It kept finding me in the dark, in the bed I couldn't get out of, in the days I couldn't remember what year it was. A song would come on, and something in me would wake up. That's why this channel exists. Not to perform recovery, not to pretend I have it all figured out, but because some of you are in a room right now that feels exactly like the one I was in. And I want you to know that music found me there. Maybe it can find you too. So, what is this channel actually about? Music reactions. K-pop, J-rock, anime soundtracks, rock, metal, everything in between. I react to music from all over the world because great music doesn't care what language it's in. And between those reactions, I talk about mental health, about symptoms and treatments and medications, and what it actually feels like to live inside a brain like mine. I created this channel to help people struggling with their mental health. Not for views, not for subscribers, not for notoriety. I mean, the support helps keep the lights on and the equipment running. And if you ever want to contribute to that, I do have a Ko-fi page. Link is in the description. But that's not why I'm here. Here because I needed a place like this once, and it didn't exist. One more thing before I let you go. For most of my life, I buried my emotions deep. It was a survival thing. Go through what I went through, and you learn pretty quickly how to feel nothing. So what that means for you is this. You're probably not going to see a lot of emotion from me. I'm not going to be bouncing off the walls. I'm not going to fake hype something I didn't actually connect with. I'm not going to pretend I love a song just to keep the energy up. And I'm absolutely not going over the top just to get more views. What you will see is the real me. Good mood, bad mood, sad mood, doesn't matter. I'll tell you beforehand so you understand. That's just where I am that day. That's not performance, that's just honesty. Now, I said I don't show a lot of emotion. There is one exception, Love Bites, specifically Miyako. I don't know what it is, but that woman will bring a tear to my eye every single time. Every single. So if you ever want to see me actually cry on camera, you know what to request. No acting, no fake hype, no pretending, just me. Before I wrap this up, I need to say something to the people who are already here. I didn't think I was going to get to this point, honestly. With my laid-back personality, with everything I'm dealing with the mental health approach I was taking, I genuinely believed that if I wanted to grow, if I wanted to reach more people, I was going to have to fake it. And let's be honest, I can't pretend anymore. I can't lie about who I am. I did that for over 20 years, and I don't have it in me anymore. I figured the only way I was ever going to help anyone was to be completely honest about everything I've been through. And thankfully, you guys responded. And you responded with so much warmth, so much kindness, and so much compassion that I have to admit it's still a little surreal and a teensy bit overwhelming. But it doesn't change how grateful I am to still be doing this, to be reaching so many people. That is truly an honor and a privilege that I will not take for granted. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for your acceptance, for your willingness to further the conversation about mental health. I would not have this platform without you. I mean that. If any of this resonates with you, if you've ever felt like your brain was working against you, or like the world has moved on without you, or like music is the only thing that makes sense some days, you're in the right place. Subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you're listening to, tell me what you're going through. I read everything, even if my memory doesn't always cooperate. This is Overthinking with Dennis, where overthinkers like us use music to feel a little less alone. I'll see you in the next one.